The traditional aesthetic of Don Mills is a bit of an oxymoron because Don Mills is anything but traditional. It was cutting edge for its time, and so our project, the Flaire project, is actually embracing that kind of spirit, this idea of cutting edge and contemporary. Well, having kind of lived the vision of Don Mills for 9 years now, working on the entire master plan, working on the architecture of the buildings that are the first phase, the shops at Don Mills that we've worked on, Flaire is the kind of next layer of that experience. And again, for us, as the kind of looking at the master plan, it was this wonderful new stage in the life of Don Mills. And Don Mills was a wonderful 50s experimental community that people just bought into. They brought up their kids here. It's matured so beautifully. And for us to kind of be able to come back literally 50 years later and actually kind of rejuvenate the center of that community is incredibly important and kind of exceptional experience for us as architects and urban designers. The idea clearly here was to create a new heart to the community, which are the shops at Don Mills, that then get supported by this new residential and mixed-use neighborhood that's going to surround the shops. Again, here it is pedestrian-friendly, wonderful amenities that is open to the sky, really kind of in the spirit of the architecture of the heritage, the kind of modern heritage architecture of Don Mills, but at the same time layering on a kind of new contemporary sensibility to that. I would say the favorite part for me of the design process is that kind of first sketches that we start doing, the kind of rolling out the tracing paper, sketching on the site, sketching ideas, kind of quick jamming, and really kind of working together with the whole team, our clients and their team, to really kind of come up with those really initial, exciting first ideas. If there was one architect I truly admire, it would be Gio Ponti. He was an Italian architect that spanned many generations of architects, and he was actually started a magazine called Domus Magazine. So he was an editor, an architect, an artist, graphic designer, and industrial designer. Working with my brother Frank, who's my older brother, so there's issues there, but working with my brother Frank it's an interesting experience. It sometimes feels like we're kind of teenagers again, and he's kind of being the older brother and kind of giving me a hard time, but I have to say it's been pretty exciting. He both completely buys into the notion of Don Mills and the idea of mixed use, and I think really kind of pushing the envelope. So I have to say, as a client, he's pretty good. And also I have to say, by having my brother as a client means I have a mother, so if there's any issue that we're having a hard time with, let her decide.